Hello, it's your favorite sports Unc here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the fastest growing community on YouTube. Remember, Nightcap doesn't happen without you. So please subscribe or you're going to make Ocho cry.
Chargers beat the Steelers 25-10. Keenan Allen passes Antonio Gates for the most receptions in Chargers history. Gates, friend of mine, a Pro Football Hall of Famer, had 955, and now Keenan Allen has 956. But Ocho, watching this game tonight, Steelers aren't good.
Pure dominance from the Chargers. The Steelers aren't good. They're not good enough. Obviously, offensively, you can't turn the ball over.
Nope.
It was the first two quarters. I was like, okay, this is a good game. It's 3-2. You know, defense. Both defense playing extremely well. Both offenses really couldn't get nothing going. But at some point, the Chargers, you know how they are. They're gonna keep chipping and chipping and chipping. At some point, that offense is gonna catch fire. They're gonna start moving the ball. When they get in the red zone, they're gonna score and put up some points. And the defense played so well. They had Aaron Rodgers shook. They had him uncomfortable. He rushed some throws, some very, very bad habits, even though he is a very good thrower of the ball, some very bad habits, causing balls to sail on him, which were really easy completions, drop passes that ended up being interceptions. They really couldn't get anything going all night long. On third down, the damn Steelers was what? Hold on, I just had it right in front. They were 2 for 11. 2 of 11? Well, you ain't finna do nothing with that. You're not finna do nothing with that at all. So listen, the Chargers played really well, even though the Steelers lost the game. They are still first in the division. I think there was
not for much longer though.
Oh, the Bengals coming. I'm glad you know that. I'm glad. Hey, see, I'm glad you. Hey, you know football. That's one thing I can say about you. I don't care what they say, but you know football. You know the Bengals coming to take that division over. So, but listen.
No, there's no chance of that. Ocho, you mentioned that they're not good defensively. No. If they can't get to your quarterback, they're very average on the back end. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah.
Chad, I know y'all like the Steelers, and most of the people my age and they have a lot of fans. They travel really well, but the Steelers aren't good. If they can't, if those two guys outside can't get to your quarterback, if they can't attack your quarterback, give the quarterback any amount of time. They're either going to be a completion or it's going to be a holding. That's what it is. And their offensive line, the Steelers' offensive line, isn't good. Aaron Rodgers is not as mobile as he once was, so he can't keep continuously getting himself out of harm's way. He had some bad throws. They sailed on him. He had DK early in the game, sailed that one. The other one, he hit the guy right between the numbers. Yeah, Austin had one slip through his hand to get the pick. I don't know why the punt returner is trying to, you saying get away, and then you tried to field the ball. You never field the ball below your waist. If you got to go down here to catch it, Ocho, you know you don't field no punt like that. You've been fielding punts far too long to know you don't take a ball below your waist. And here you are trying to do something that your coach not to do, trying to be a hero, and guess what? You give them another cheap, easy 3 points. But the Steelers, just watching the Steelers, and you watch, like I said, you watch them. And yeah, they're 5-4, they're winning, but they're not good. They don't have a team that can compete for a championship. Now, Mike Tomlin's going to go and tell them and give all these great clips and these great sound bites, but he know deep down they don't have a team that can compete for a championship.
The funny thing about it is they have the players on paper. When they got some of the offseason acquisitions that they did get, I was like, okay, the Steelers going to be nice. The Steelers are going to be real nice. Obviously, getting Jalen Ramsey, Darius Slay, big play Slay is there. TJ Watt signed. So they got Cam Hayward done. I'm like, okay, you know what? On all three levels, defensively, they're going to be all right. If there is a weakness, if there is a weak link, it'd probably be the second level, but they would make up for that on the back end and up front. But listen, what happened?
Let's be real. Those are names. Yeah. Those guys ain't played good in a while, Ocho. We going to keep it real tonight, Nightcap. Their names, Steelers are good with names. They got big names, but those guys haven't played well in a while. That's why they're on other teams.
Hey, man, that's difficult. I know what you mean. Ramsey wanted out in Miami. He wanted out of Miami. I thought the Steelers would have been a great situation for him. I think he's still one of the better corners, even though he's moved to safety. You got the experience with Ramsey. Then you have Big Face Slate. Yeah, listen, Slate looked good last year when he was with Philly. He played extremely well in the playoffs as well. So, I mean, when you say they haven't played.
Yeah, when you had that pass rush. But what happens when them guys can't get home and you got to hold just a tad longer? Like I said, if you look at the names on paper, the names he went to the Pro Bowl. Oh, he went to the Pro Bowl. Oh, he went to the Pro Bowl. He's an all-pro. He did this. But all the guys, they haven't played well in a while. They haven't. That's not to say they weren't good at a particular time, because every guy that you mentioned was. They were good. They're just not what they once were now, and that's what the Steelers need. People are not. It used to be a time, Ocho, people were in awe of names. Now people will make an example out of you and use you to catapult themselves because of your name. And people like, look, all I know is like what Paul Pierce told me. He said, look, I beat Steph in the 3-point competition. I say, man, that man was his rookie year. Was he Steph Curry? Is he the greatest shooter of all time? I don't know how old he was. Okay. Ain't nobody gonna care. Man, this guy was in his 13th year. This guy was in his 11th year. All I know was that who you said he was? They're not good. They're not. They're just not. And at some point in time, we gotta call it. We gotta call it like we see it. They got good. They got big names, but if Watt and Highsmith can't get home, if that front can't get home, because they got Hebring and they got a couple of other guys. If those guys don't get home, that ball getting completed on the back end. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. But they're not close, Ocho. They're not. I mean, look at this. They had 11 first downs. There were 211 on third down. They had 221 yards of ball. Hold on. That's Aaron Rodgers at quarterback.
Yeah. He had
they had the ball, Ocho. They had the ball for 22
He had a bad
minutes.
day. He had a bad day at the office, huh? He had a bad day at office. It happens. It happens to the best of us. It happens to some of the better teams, as we'll talk about later on in the show. Teams that we expect to play well. I expect this to be probably one of the better games today. Out of the 1 o'clock in the front.
Yes,
I
me
thought
too.
It was one of the better games. It just the funny thing about the NFL. It's just you get games like this where you're expecting to be not a blowout, but you expect it to be exciting. You expect it to be two teams scoring back and forth, and it just wasn't that. It just didn't give that. So it's weird how it's really, really weird how that works week to week, where you can never really guarantee what's gonna happen.
I don't know what the Steelers were thinking. I don't know they were supposed to be in play for Waddle, and there are a couple of other receivers they should have been in play for, but they should have, because really they don't have but one guy. And if he can't complete the ball to DK, it ain't getting completed. The other guys are just guys. They're guys. They're twos, low twos, threes.
But sometimes you got to win with that. Sometimes those twos and
you ain't win no championship with that.
What you mean? They have to make plays. They got to catch the ball. This is the NFL. Every team can't have 1-1s or 1-2s. You just can't. You have to make do with what you got. So it's up to those players, the Calvin Austins, anyone outside of DK, the tight ends, they have to make those plays.
Well, you need Steve Austin, the $6 million man in Pittsburgh, if you're going to make some plays with what they got. Because Aaron is not what he once was. He can't move around like he once did. He's not as accurate as he once was, because you're forcing him to move. I mean, Aaron Rodgers thrown intercept. Man, there were times Aaron Rodgers threw 4 interceptions in a season. Yeah. He's got 4 in the last 2 games. We never. This ain't the Aaron Rodgers that we used to seeing. Yeah, he can. The thing is, Ocho, and I've said this, having a player that played really good when I was young, and as I started to get older, the thing that I tell people, you can have a big game, you just can't have them with the regularity you did when you were in your prime. And we've seen Aaron Rodgers have games that remind you that is the old Aaron Rodgers. But they just don't come with the frequency like they once did. And that's what they need. They needed Aaron Rodgers. They need MVP Aaron Rodgers that could carry an average or mediocre defense. He can't do that now.
As guys what do they need, Ocho? What did Tom Brady need? Tom Brady need guys that could elevate him. He needed a Godwin. He needed Mike Evans. He needed a K. Dotton. He needed Gronk to come back. He needed an Antonio Brown. Those guys that he once won with in New England had gotten old. And he could no longer elevate them. So now I need you to help pull me. Because I can't pull you guys no more. I can't carry you no more. That's okay. But if the Steelers was going to stand pat with what they had, there's no way they thought that was good enough to win. No way. No way.
Hey, listen, we halfway through the season. They had some good games. They had some games where they played well. Then they had some shitty games like tonight. I mean, you're going to have games. You want to be as consistent as possible. You want to be as consistent as possible in hitting your stride. You want to hit your stride offensively and defensively at the right time. You don't want to peak too early. You want to peak too soon. You want to hit it at the right time. I still think they do have a chance. The fact that they are still first in the division, they got to play better. They got to play better. We've seen teams have games like this and then hit it right when it counts and when it matters most.
But we've seen them skate by a couple of victories that they could have. I mean, I don't think there were any games that they lost that they should have won. But we've seen some games that they won they should have lost. That Jet game, if that guy doesn't fumble that ball, but it is what it is. We'll see. There are 9 games. They played 9 games. They're 5-4. There's 8 games left. I don't believe they can hold the Ravens off. With the way the Ravens are currently playing, with Lamar playing at the level at which he's playing, I don't believe they can hold him off, Ocho.
All right, you know what? I'm gonna let you have that one. I'm gonna let you have that one because I was gonna mention who they actually played, and the team they actually played did a phenomenal job today, and there's a reason why they're probably gonna win the AFC East and rejuvenize their season. Don't worry about it. If you can you can hear.
The AFC East, that's New England's division.
Who?
That's New England's division.
Time. It's 8 games left.